Hello, good evening. Can everyone hear me? Great. Well, thank you all so much for being here tonight, and thank you, Tiffany. That's going to be hard to follow, but we have so much for you tonight, and I proudly am going to share with you Dandelion Development. Here's an agenda that we're going to go through tonight, but these are what I would like to call our key takeaways from my pitch. So, our mission at Dandelion Development is to rebuild, educate, and offer spaces to people who would like to revolutionize their life through skills and a welcoming environment. Who is Dandelion Development? Well, my name is Kichonee Davis. I'm the president and CEO. I was born and raised in Baltimore City, and I'm a senior at the University of Baltimore, studying real estate and economic development. I currently work in commercial real estate. However, community development is my passion. Our CFO is Kichonee Davis. Not only is he my brother, but he is very well versed in high-risk management and the president of a holding firm named SDG Estates. Our general contractor is Genesis Contracting. They are a one-stop shop and have been contracting in Baltimore City for 15 years. And last but not least, we have Park Heights Renaissance, the resource company of Park Heights, a nonprofit organization, and also our future tenant. So, our business model is simple: research, abstract, and design. Using the research, we choose which neighborhoods to approach based on Baltimore's impact investment neighborhoods. Then we abstract that and use ideas from that need-based research to go into older and existing community spaces. Then we design our structures based on community development, revitalization, and sustainability. So we've decided our first project is going to be in Park Heights, and with the Park Heights Renaissance, we have so much more to show you. This is an excerpt from the 2006 Park Heights Master Plan. It goes to show that even now, mixed-use commercial spaces are necessary for revitalization. You can see the Belvedere Center and this Cold Spring Center. Mixed-use spaces allow for amenities for constituents like green spaces and retail shopping. Affordable housing is a priority, but affordable living is as well. Using some of these demographics, we've honed in on the target market that we'd like to provide for. So our target market is going to be 18 to 65, so basically everyone, but specifically people that are interested in joining the workforce or picking up a new skill. We're going to touch a little bit on education. In the Park Heights area, there's 71% of high school graduates, and then there's 64% of those high schoolers that are absent. I think it is our job as developers not to speculate as to why or not they did go to school, but to give them options after school to hone in on skills and to better their lives. So, in turn, we found our site. This is 4355 Park Heights Avenue. This is a central location on Park Heights and Cold Spring Lane. It is about 0.5 miles from the West Cold Spring train station. It is accessible via bus north to south and east to west. And it's a mile from the closest high school, about a 20-minute walk on a nice day. And with the Park Heights Renaissance and Dandelion Development, we're going to give you room to build. So let's talk about room to build. Room to build is going to be Park Heights Tool Library. A tool library is just like a book library, but you lend out tools to do any project that you could think of, whether it's a DIY, home renovation, home restoration, and any other type of thing where you would need any type of tools to use. I'm going to walk you through the tool library. 1 second. Let's see if this works. Okay, so as you can see, you walk in, there's 2 double doors that are very welcoming, and you go in and you check in using a valid ID if you have to be 18 years older or with a guardian. And then you'll get some PPE regardless based on what kind of project that you're wanting to do today, from glasses to gloves, and then you'll walk into the tool library. It's a very open space. And in the tool library, you'll have everything from a drill bit to an electric wood saw. And then you'll have the classroom, where you can do some safety classes for the tools that you're going to check out, and so they know that you can handle these tools. And in the back, there's an ADA accessible restroom. This is the first floor of the entire 4355 Park Heights Avenue, and it's completely accessible. There's no steps to enter, needed to enter. This is also a part of the site, in the red right there, and this is going to be a community garden, another amenity for the community. You do not have to be a part of the tool library to use it. However, there will be hours which it will be open for people. And based on the classes that are given in the tool library, plumbing, electrical, woodworking, gardening, horticulture, there will be options for that in the tool library as well. So we have strategized a 2-year action plan. We're here now at 2024, sourcing, and by third quarter, we hope to stabilize the entire building. I showed you the first floor. There is a second floor that still needs to be stabilized with electrical and HVAC, which is another 1,200 square feet. By the beginning of January 2025, we have planned to deliver the space to the Park Heights Renaissance so they can underway their tool library. After generating some income, we're going to begin renovating the second floor, which is a flex space that can be used for residential or commercial use. And then, by the end of 2025, we plan to begin vetting the second floor tenants so that it's in the same likeness with the Park Heights Renaissance, so they're all working cohesively. So, how much is it going to cost? That's why we're all here. To acquire the building, it's going to be $50,000. And with our hard costs at a 15% contingency, plus our soft costs at a 5% contingency, it's going to cost $301,465,000. Sorry. And then with our cash, grants, and our final ask from BCL, Baltimore Community Lending, we asked for $171,465. So how are we going to pay this off? For our debt service, we're going to use the revenue from just the first floor with 3% increases, and just by the end of 2025, we're to get close to $2,200 with operating expenses budgeted. So how are we going to do this? Who's going to help us out? Our partners. We're going to be working with Baltimore Department of Housing and Community Development, the Community Development Block Grants through HUD, and also the National Capital Strategic Economic Development Fund. So, in summary, I would like to say that our grantors, our lenders, our community members, we all have the same common goal, and that is to offer comprehensive, accessible spaces to everyone in Baltimore City. So what's next after the tool library? Dandelion Development will use the tool library as a catalyst for a workforce development program in Baltimore City and in Park Heights. Thank you.
You could not have timed that better. That was 8 minutes and 10 seconds. Good job. Judges, you have about 5 minutes of questions.
I'll go ahead first. Excellent presentation.
Thank you.
In looking at the tenant that will be in there, and then looking at what you're planning on doing with the second floor.
Correct.
The strategy will be a buy and hold until the second floor is completed and fully occupied?
That's correct. So the revenue that we're to generate in the next year is to be solely from the first tenant, but yes, the buy and hold, the property was $50,000 for both floors.
Okay. And then the $100,000 in grants, where would that come from? Have you sourced that?
Not just yet, but we have put in applications with the DHC, Baltimore City Community Development, Housing and Community Development, for $50,000 for each floor, which is eligible.
Okay. And then final question, on the tool concept, will people go in and take tools out?
Yep.
Or, and
So I'm sorry, go ahead.
take tools out, how do you ensure that they come back?
So it is a trust-based system, just like a regular library, but you do have to sign up, and there are monthly dues or yearly dues. It's a pay-as-you-go, so it's a sliding scale so it could be almost zero to nothing, but it is a community asset, so we would like to emphasize that they would have to bring it back so the community can also take part as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, sir.
I have a question in regard to the construction and your documentation.
Yeah, I can go.
The current building has as a covering on it of old
The
siding.
That's correct.
And all the way around to the back. And you plan to take all that siding off?
Yes, sir, and fix the brick as needed. It was, let me get I stole this from my cat. So
Okay.
right here where we are with the brick repairs,
Right.
and then the fixtures and the fit out, that's the 21,500 for the siding, and also there's a bump out on the actual structure where the siding was. We would have to take that off to see
Okay,
what's
the reason I
actually
was
there.
asking the question, because I didn't see anything that said that you were taking any siding off. You had brick repairs, and I was trying to figure out what
What was going to go there? Yeah, I'm
Yes.
sorry, yes. Yes, so there will remain the brick. One of the things that we are hoping to be an amenity for the neighborhood as well is a mural, but that's for Park Heights to decide who will ever do that. You can't do that over, I mean, I guess you could, but brick is best for murals.
Yeah. Well, I drive by that particular building every day.
Oh, really?
So
Nice.
I'm very, very familiar with it, and it's been an eyesore for over 10 years. So, yes, it does need some work to say, at the least. The other question I have is, you don't have anything in your, under demolition of old walls. Do you have anything in your work that takes care of the environmental issues that come with removing the walls and the brick and the other stuff, because you've got asbestos and other things are there? So that might be something you might want to consider including in your sources.
Great. Definitely, thank you for that. I think right here, I kind of summed it in with the environmental studies and the soil reports, just because I know the wall has been there for a while and it will have to be demoed depending on lead paint or asbestos.
Okay.
Thank you.
That would be my only suggestion, is that you would think about that line item of the appraisal and environmental studies and soil reports, because sometimes that's going to go, just one of those items can run you $7,500. So
Okay.
you might want to buffer that
Okay.
quite a bit.
Thank you.
I'd like to take a step back. I want to understand, I'm not familiar with this particular property, but I want to understand what caused you to select this particular site. It seems like a challenging site, so I'm curious about that. But I also want to take one step further to understand how you got to the decision that a tool library was what the community needed.
Of course. So working with Park Heights Renaissance, Desiree, I think I see her if she's here, we talked about the needs of the community, and there are a lot of community. I didn't want to go full residential, but I didn't want to go full commercial, so I thought a flex space would work. We talked about a lot of civic centers and things that could just be done, and the tool library was something that I've seen personally. There's one in Station North, but there's not one accessible to West Baltimore. And so we talked about that, and we thought that that would be a central location. Now, that location is in their redevelopment site. So they're going to go all the way up Park Heights Avenue and down Cold Spring and over to Reisterstown Road to do their reimagining for Park Heights. And so it's right in their, go back. It's right in their zoning of where they would like to repurpose a lot of the buildings right there. There was a Bill's Bondsman, that was the building that I'm pitching, and then right across there is a liquor store. So we're trying, and there's a Rite Aid, and so we're trying to bring some more amenities to the community that aren't just retail.
Got one more question from the judges?
Yeah, I'll ask a question, and you may have answered this. I'm just new to this.
Of course, me too.
You're doing a great job,
Thank you.
and there's a great career for you in real estate. Could you explain a little bit what the long-term goals of this project will be for you personally, and what is the return on that $30,000 potential equity investment? Do you have any kind of thoughts on where you want to be?
Personally, growing up in West Baltimore, I said I grew up in Baltimore City, but I grew up in West Baltimore, so this part of Baltimore is really special to me. I think that there's a lot of things that you can do. When you have the areas to incite imagination, you can get a lot of those things out of that. So with the tool library, I was thinking, skateboarders could come in and do that. A lot of people could come in and do some renovations on their homes that they cannot maybe afford. That really is my takeaway from that with my personal interest. And I'm sorry, you said the equity of $30,000?
Yeah, what kind of a return on that? You mentioned some $22,000 a year, maybe. What's your return look like on that $30,000?
I would hope that over the term of the loan, I would get my full return back, but probably no more than probably 50% of that.
Amazing job.
Thank you.
Thanks for being number one.